this case. Rusty Yates returned home from work to a nightmare. His 5 children had been drowned in the bathtub by their own mother, his wife, Andrea Yates. Well, NBC's Andrea Yates.
Story of Andrea Yates and the murder of her 5 children. The Yates family was a family of 7: Andrea Yates, Rusty Yates, and their 5 children: Noah, who was 7, John, who was 5, Paul, who was 3, Luke, who was 2, and Mary, who was 6 months. According to Murderpedia, a free encyclopedia and dictionary of murderers and the largest database about serial killers and mass murders around the world, Andrea Yates was born in Houston, Texas on July 2nd of 1964, making her about 58 years old today in 2022. After completing a 2-year pre-nursing program at the University of Houston, she worked as a registered nurse at the MD Anderson Cancer Center from 1986 until 1994. During this time, she met her future husband, Russell or Rusty Yates, in the summer of '89 at Sunscape Apartments in Houston, Texas. They married on April 17th of 1993, 4 years after meeting. In February of 1994, they had their first son, Noah Yates. Shortly after, Rusty accepted a job offer in Florida, so the family relocated to a small trailer. In this trailer, they had 2 more children, John and Paul Yates, before moving back to Houston. Following the birth of their 4th child, Andrea Yates became depressed, and on June 17, 1999, Andrea Yates had attempted to overdose on pills. She was admitted to the hospital and prescribed antidepressants. Soon after her release, she begged her husband to let her die as she held a knife up to her neck. Once again hospitalized, Andrea was given a mixture of drugs. She improved after this visit, and the family moved into a smaller home. Although things started to look up for the family, in July of 1999, Andrea Yates had a nervous breakdown, which resulted in 2 more suicide attempts where she was hospitalized and diagnosed with postpartum psychosis. Andrea Yates started seeing a psychiatrist who urged the couple not to have any more children. Although, shortly after her release, they had their 5th and final child, Mary Yates. She seemed to be coping well and stopped taking her medicine in March of 2000. She gave birth to her daughter November 30th of 2000. She was coping well until the death of her father on March 12, 2001. She was found mutilating herself and reading the Bible feverishly. She also stopped feeding Mary. She eventually had to be hospitalized once again, and on April 1st, 2001, she came under the care of Dr. Mohammed Syed. She was treated and released on May 3rd of 2001. She appeared to be in a near chaotic state where she drew a breath, where she later confessed she planned on killing her children that day, but decided against it. Once again hospitalized after a scheduled doctor's visit, her psychiatrist determined that she was probably suicidal and had filled the bathtub to drown herself. She remained in the care of Dr. Syed until June 20th of 2001. Rusty Yates had left for work, leaving Andrea Yates by herself with her children, which the doctor had told them not to do. Rusty's mother was scheduled to arrive an hour later, but in this hour, she had time to drown all of her children, starting from the youngest boys, ending with Mary, laying her in her older brother's arms. Afterwards, she called the police.
Is there standing next to you? Are you having a disturbance? Are you ill or what? Yes, I'm ill. You need an ambulance? No, I need a police officer. You have sent an ambulance.
Then she called Rusty, just repeating, "It's time." Andrea was arrested the same day. She had a long battle with her mental illness, postpartum depression, and postpartum psychosis. NAMI.org, National Alliance on Mental Illness, said Miss Yates will be facing a hearing to determine if she is competent to stand trial. The findings would be irrelevant to her state of mind when she tragically killed her children. Regardless whether she is found competent this week or several months from now, she will not be the same person that she was when she killed her children. Even if someone with a mental illness knows the basic of right versus wrong, their brain may still twist it to wrong is right. There's no doubt that Miss Yates suffered a severe mental illness, and as often the case, she had to run in conflict with the law to finally get proper treatment. The law in the state of Oregon provides guilty except for insanity pleas. If an individual should recover significantly to return to the community at future time, it provides constant monitoring. Research shows this approach to be very successful in preventing further criminal behavior. It represents justice and a better path than the one which Andrea Yates is headed.